I wanted to share an idea that I've come up with, which I believe's a great idea to help with the homeless situation. And it would affect everyone in the UK and also across the world if it got implemented. So let me share with you where the whole story come from in the first place. So when I was in San Francisco last year, I was walking the streets and I couldn't believe how bad the homeless situation was out there. It was awful. Like, wasn't prepared for that at all. I knew there was homeless people out there, but this was on another level. You take the wrong left and then you're just surrounded by poverty, really. And it's crazy. The people they just seem absolutely nuts, and I'm guessing that there's no healthcare system out there. So not only are they on the streets, there's drink, there's drugs, lack of sleep, but not the right medication to have. So I couldn't believe like how bad it was. So on the rest of the trip, I kept thinking to myself, like, how did it get to that point? Like, what point in their life did they just stop and just give up? Because it just looked like they just didn't know where they was anymore. It's like they just completely let go of who they were. So on that trip, I was having a conversation with quite a few people because it just stuck with me. And I just said, I can't believe, like, how does the family just let someone like that, or their friends? And one of the guys actually said, look, we had a son and he had a heroin problem, a really bad one. And we tried to help him. We did what a family did. We put the money up. We would send him off all these different treatments, but he wasn't going. He wasn't listening. He was stealing from us and buying more heroin. And there was only so much that we could do that for. And in the end, we just had to let go. And that hit home. It's like, whoa, like, you don't even think of it like that. Like, that's really powerful. But then it dawned on me, like, trying to find out what these people's story are. Like, how did they get there? So then a few months later, my coaching academy ran a coaching event. And one of the tasks was we split into groups and people come up with ideas and you brainstorm for a business idea. And the group that I was in was about homeless. And I shared the story that one of my friends, Ricky Cooper, explained when he had to intro another guest. And he said he was walking in London one day and he saw a homeless person saying, hello, have you got any small change? Any small change? And everyone was just walking past him, ignoring him. And then Ricky went up to him and said, why are you asking for small change? And the guy was like, what do you mean? It's like, go and the next person, I want you to look straight at them and say, excuse me, sir, have you got any big change? So, like, a bit worried, he went off and did it. And the guy just walked off. And all of a sudden the guy stopped, turned back round, pulled out a 20 and then gave it to the guy. The guy couldn't believe it. It was the first time he tried it and couldn't believe how powerful that was. So just the power of change in the words. So on this brainstorming thing back to the coaching, I shared that story. And then we come up with this idea called Big Change. And the idea was to create this platform to allow these homeless people to come on and share their story. Because half the time people don't listen to them, and I'm guilty of it. I walk down some roads in London and I don't want to even say hello to them. They're completely wrecked, they look like they're on drugs, just don't want to even listen or say anything to them. So if we provided a platform where they can actually come on and share their story, share like how they've got to where they are now, share who they were before that they just had to let go, but then try to find out like what is their issues at the moment, how can help be provided to them. And also with that many people listening, it'd be the first time ever that people just giving up their time to help this person. It would change so much. I can see it right now. It'd be so powerful. But the second idea that this has been playing up, so these are just ideas we went and nothing's ever happened, but it's still been sitting at the back of my head. But then the next thing is like, I think the other bit, so you tell their story as a platform, but the next one is to actually find out like what are they working towards, like goals. So I've got a guy who's outside our Tesco's every night, and he's changed, sir, any change? Always. Have a good night. It's just constant, and I get really frustrated with it, and he must make a good bit of money because he's there all the time. But I was thinking, like, if he's making all this money, like, their day just must be survival. They get up and they got no plan, they just go and survive. So if they got no plan, that money will end up being on survival, food, shelter, But if you found out and asked them, like, what would you want? Like, if you could have anything, what would you want? And they say, look, I want to get off the streets. I want to get back into a home or be able to just rent a place. So then if we knew that that's what they wanted, and that was, we could get a room for £400 a month as an example. And this guy's mostly making £100 a day outside Tesco's. He's, loads of people stop and give him money all the time. But if he knew that all it needed was like 4 weeks of just saving this much, and if he knew he had to make a bit more, then he would be able to have a purpose for the day to go and do that. Because once he does that, then all of a sudden after 3 weeks his whole life changes and he gets shelter. Then it's having another plan for him to work towards. So it'd be great to create a platform where there'd be coaches and business specialists and people to come in to write business plans and work with the homeless and find out what it is that they actually want, and like how we can put a plan in place with the surroundings they've got at the moment. Even if they're on the street, if they now know that this is what I need to make, and if I do this for a month, I'm going to be off the street. Like each day would be exciting for them. Each day they'll be able to get up and have a bit more energy, and they're not just kind of losing themselves as the days go on. So that was my idea. It's called Big Change, to create a platform for allow the homeless people to come in and speak and let people listen to them. And the second one is to create some sort of like business plan of action to add in, so that these people know what they need to do to actually get what they want. Because most of the time they haven't had anyone to stop and spend the time and show them that they've got hope as well. So I put it out there. It'd be great if something did come of this. It'd be great to get your thoughts, and yeah, we'll see where it takes us.